Welcome to A Course in Business Miracles. This is Heather Dominick, creator of BusinessMiracles.com and founder and leader of the highly sensitive entrepreneur movement. Join me today for some genuine practical assistance and a business-altering and life-changing experience, a business miracle. This is A Course in Business Miracles, episode number 17, Freedom. Listen in today to see why our shared purpose as highly sensitive entrepreneurs is to free ourselves from all the ways we've been held back up until now.
The Business Miracle focus for today's training is freedom. So let's take a look at where we've traveled together so far in our series. First, we looked at what it means to be miracle ready. From there, we dove into understanding what it is to be a highly sensitive entrepreneur, an HSE, and our shadows versus our strengths, and the primary strength of vision. We looked at the importance of the core practice of transforming your limiting beliefs, utilizing the belief transformation tool, the BTT. We then went to understanding why you must value yourself, especially yourself as an HSE. And from there, the power of aligned community, and that HSEs thrive in aligned community and move forward faster rather than the isolation of doing it or going it alone. And then we really opened up to the understanding that not only are you a royal advisor, but how are you going to operate within that role as an entitled queen, as a scullery maid, or regal queen? We came to the knowing that consistency is key. Staying with it step by step is key, rather than the HSE shadow of overwhelm that says, I have to learn this first, I have to go through this material again first, I have to digest the information first before I can join the 6-month group coaching program. It will never happen. Serving or trying to overcome overwhelm by getting it all laid out, getting it all understood first will never happen. And I want you to write that down. Only more overwhelm will happen. The way forward is by staying connected to a community like this one that will lovingly support you in honing the power of consistency through inner and outer business building core practices. And we recognize the importance of love and integrity and abundance and being metaphysical and leaping into service with ease and joy. All of that, every step of the path that we've traveled so far together in this series, leading us here to freedom. As I've mentioned previously, according to Dr. Elaine Aron, this is our shared purpose as highly sensitives: freedom, liberation. Why? Well, according to Dr. Elaine Aron, a highly sensitive will live a life of self-imprisonment if the life is not lived consciously. What I've come to understand is that HSEs, our prison, will be built by overprotection, going to all lengths to overprotect ourselves from the HSE shadows, and particularly from overwhelm. I have an Eminence member who has created a new word pre-avoid, the concept or process of pre-avoidance, which to me is like a step beyond overprotection. And what it means to pre-avoid is to try to set up as much as possible beforehand to avoid, and even more so pre-avoid, any sense of catastrophe, any sense of being called out, any sense of conflict, any sense of difficulty. And of course, as this eminence member and I have talked about together many times, that is not possible. But instead, what overprotection and pre-avoidance create are suffering, exhaustion, and daily torment. And that is prison. That is the self-imprisonment that Dr. Elaine Aron describes. And that is why we are here, to understand and to know the experience of freedom. It is our shared journey. It is our shared purpose. As I mentioned in earlier training, our life lesson is what we are here to master, and what we are here to master is what we are here to teach. And what we are here to teach is our life purpose. And that will look slightly different for each and every one of us. But as highly sensitives, the thread through all of that is that journey, is that purpose of freedom. Your life lesson is whatever it is that's keeping you from experiencing that freedom. It's that thing that keeps coming around. And you are here to master it through every learning experience and every opportunity. And through your mastering, you are then here to pass that experience on to others through your teaching. And what you teach then is your life purpose. According to A Course in Miracles, the definition of teaching is to demonstrate. It's not to be Moses on the mountain to have it all perfect, because as an HSE I know we're concerned with that, but that will never happen. It's not to be perfect. It's simply to be a few steps ahead. So when I teach Ideal Client of the 6-month group coaching program, I teach that your ideal client is a version of you. They are those sacred contracts. The people that you made a contract with in whatever realm before we came to this one. That they were meant to learn from you. You were meant to share your learning with them. They look, walk, and talk very similarly to you in terms of qualities and characteristics, but they're not exactly like you. The essence is like you. The core is like you. You're not side by side with them. You're a few steps ahead. And again, you're not Moses on the mountain preaching down, but from your few steps ahead on the path, you're simply reaching your hand back and saying, come take my hand, walk with me, and I'll show you the way. I have a teaching that I call, but you just don't understand. It's the introduction to the ego mind's unreasonable reasons. Any sentence that you start with, but you just don't understand. You could say to me, Heather, you just don't understand. I can't join the 6-month group coaching program because I have to learn this, and this first. Because I don't have the time. Because the timing is terrible. Because I don't have the money. because I have to take care of my husband, I have to take care of my kids, or my husband won't let me, or my kids can't lose me. I've taken so many courses. I've taken this course already. And I have a response to each and every one of those unreasonable reasons. Because that's exactly what they are. And if you need to talk through any of those, you can just simply email us at clientcare@businessmiracles.com, and we're happy to have a conversation with you. I've been doing this long enough to know that our circumstances don't and will not change unless we change our perspective. And that comes through changing our thoughts, that comes through changing our words, and that comes through changing our actions. I have a prayer that I say consistently that goes like this. Please, dear God, give me the thoughts to think, the words to speak, and the actions to take. Show me the way through whatever illusion appears to be in my way. And this is not just said once. This is something to live by. To live by this every day, every moment, and every minute. If you know that this is the place that you're meant to be, that this aligned community is your home, that learning the inner and outer core practices of what it takes to be successfully self-employed as a highly sensitive, then there is a way. There is always a way. Again, I've been doing this long enough that I've seen miracle after miracle after miracle created for members who thought at first that they couldn't find a way to step in. And the moment they opened, the moment they activated a little bit of willingness to be miracle ready, then the door opened and the way was shown. What we see as possibility on a day-to-day basis is a sliver, is a fraction of what is available to us, what is waiting to be handed to us by the universe, by the divine, by God. So the way to live by this every day, every moment, every minute, the way to do that is by learning and working with core practices designed for highly sensitive entrepreneurial success. Core practices that you do consistently and are lovingly held accountable to this. You are lovingly held accountable to this by an aligned mentor, aligned coaches, and aligned community. The irony is that HSEs want to go it alone because we're so afraid of being with other people that we're going to get so overwhelmed. But the irony is that it actually takes a village. It takes a village for an HSE to be successful. One of the things I say all the time, in order to be highly successful as an HSE, you must be highly supported. And I want you to write that down. And that is what the A Course in Business Miracles 6-month group coaching program provides for you. What it creates for you is freedom. I can remember as a little girl, my imagination was my world. I would spend hours creating. I would create worlds for my Barbie dolls. I would create universes on my swing set. I would create adventures with my friends. And I can viscerally remember the smell of fresh-cut grass through all of this, the warm sun on my skin, and just the feeling of my mind being alive with possibilities. And I now know that creativity is an HSE strength. We are visionaries. We are creatives. What's so incredible is that now I access that creative energy every day in my business. I live in that space the majority of the time. It's truly a dream come true. Yes, I absolutely value being of high service, and yes, absolutely, I value being compensated for that high service. But what I really value is that every day in my business, I am alive. Every day in my business, I am free to create as I choose. And I can barely say that without crying. It's that important. It's that powerful. It's that imperative. So these worlds that I created as a child are now my everyday world. I am living as I was brought here to live. And it's not lost on me how precious this is, how this is experienced by so few. And it might not be everybody's definition of freedom, but it's my definition of freedom. And that's what I see for you too. For you to be living your definition of freedom. And it's not just my wish for you, it's my will for you. And it's what I'm here to teach you in the Business Miracles 6-month group coaching program. Early on, a member said, "You have such a presence, Heather. How do you do that? Is this just over the phone, or is this like when you're in person too?" And my response to her was, I am who I am, whether I'm on the phone or I'm in person. And the presence is because I am sharing what I came here to share. And now it's your turn. Let's create that for you.
Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of A Course in Business Miracles. If you're ready to learn how to use your highly sensitive abilities to support you in being purposeful, profitable, and empowered rather than scattered, poor, and undervalued, take my free self-quiz to find out if you are indeed a highly sensitive entrepreneur. And if you are, along with your quiz results, you'll receive my free HSE Success Guide, which will teach you how to have your highly sensitive abilities working for you to create the results you desire in your business. Take the quiz and receive your free success guide now at www.hsequiz.com.